Hey guys, it's Karalynn Cromeens. Welcome back to the Quick Getting Screwed podcast, where I have our next guest. Very excited from being shooting from World of Concrete, Lupe Vasquez. Hey Lupe, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you?
Good. Thank you so much for taking time to be on our show. And so before we dive in, why don't you take a few minutes and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to where you are now?
Yes, for sure. So the story starts about what I could say in the industry about 10 years already professionally. Now, being Hispanic, construction is pretty much in your DNA, right? So organically, since a baby, you can say, I always like to share the part where I feel like I survived construction when I was around 5. My dad, a masonry laborer, took me to the job site one day, and I almost was left behind in a potty room, but he managed to remember his daughter was there, and here I am now. So being in an industry of primarily men, right? It's really exciting, but organically with the family, and then moved on to college and ended up working as a territory manager in Houston, selling concrete, boots on the ground, visiting customers, attending to concrete contractors, and from there moved on to there. It gave me the opportunity to see how much need there was to help with resources, information, connections, connecting the industry to the Hispanic contractor, which obviously community-wise, it is the majority, right? And there's that out there that by 2044, a lot of the U.S. economy will depend a lot on minority business. So as co-founder of USCON, the U.S. Council of Hispanic and Construction now, our mission is to make sure that we make these companies more productive so that they can continue providing the support to the economy, building our future, and obviously one of our other pillars is the future generation. We do have culturally a lot of kids that follow their father's steps, but we want to make sure that they're not getting screwed
Exactly.
like their fathers did at some point or not.
Exactly.
So that's where we're at now.
Cool. Awesome. So what specifically are you doing to help these guys? What is kind of your push?
So we have 4 pillars. One of them is definitely to start. I can't show you how to make a lot of money in this industry if I cannot keep you safe. So one of our pillars is definitely health and safety. Another good thing to share is that suicide is one of the top reasons of death in construction, and Hispanics majority that works in construction, then it goes hand in hand, so we need to do something about that, right? So we're doing a lot of those workshops and anger management and stress. I mean, construction can be stressful, it's very rewarding, but when you are the leader of your team and you have to be the macho, strong guy, it can get very complicated. So we're doing that. We're doing a whole national campaign about safety. Okay. So we have, safety vests all around the nation, making sure that we are aware of our safety. And from there, we move on to education. So we do a lot of workshops. We pretty much visit 3 different cities each month around the nation where the demographic is primarily Hispanic. And we do workshops, trainings from any subject related to a business owner, an employee, or a future generation. So it could be something regarding finance. It could be something regarding legal. It could be something regarding how do I bid correctly? How do I, my contract would, and a lot of the stuff that you guys are helping us with as well.
Absolutely, that's awesome. So how do you think it's being received in the Hispanic community? Do you think they're receptive?
I want to say for the most part they are. We do have a lot of good response every time we put an event out there. We usually announce it about a month minimum ahead of time. Some of them are surprised. They're like, where have y'all been all this time? And sometimes it's kind of said, sounds too good to be true, right? They've been so neglected or have gone through different circumstances where, they either haven't got paid for something, do not know what, it's all about the old school way about verbally agreeing to something. And so there's that, what do you mean you're going to help me? And you will find, and you have people that can help me get my money back or understand, and we try to always let them know. And a lot of your team has helped us learn that too ourselves, to make sure that we send the message out there that it's probably too late when you get to that point. We want to make sure that we prevent it, right?
Exactly.
And make sure that we don't get to that point, and we do that through education. So they're very happy about getting this information, and primarily in their language, their first language.
And so how do you help them with, I know especially in the Hispanic community, loyalty and your word means everything, and so some of this stuff can be considered aggressive. How do you help them get past that? Like you're in this business to make money kind of thing.
I think it's definitely not something that happens overnight. Organically, I suppose that it has definitely helped being in the industry. They see you that you're out there with boots on the ground. That you know, how I started in this professionally was selling concrete, but I didn't just make myself their concrete salesperson. Maybe if I can help you find a pump, if I can find a lawyer, if I can help you find a accountant, well, let's just help you either way, because I think that, especially in construction, very old school boy kind of thing. We appreciate, and that, like they say, the commodity, you help each other, watch out each other's back, and I think there has to be a lot of trust first.
True, very true.
Yes.
So are you seeing a lot more Hispanic women in construction?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm excited.
Are you good?
Yeah.
So like like in the office, or actual boots on the ground with companies?
A combination of both. I want to say when I first started in the industry, out in the field, and I was visiting job sites, it was surprising. I would say I remember about 2, and every time I would see, it's like, let's take a picture. This feels different, right?
Yeah.
But now it's more and more common, and something that I really like to see is a lot of women entrepreneurs in the industry. And so now I don't only see them as laborers, labor people painting or, framing or, doing concrete. They're actually starting to own their own business and taking advantage of all the minority opportunities.
And so I think concrete construction has always been kind of male dominated. What do you think about women in the industry? How do you think it will change the industry?
Every time I see more, diverse companies that include a male, female, I think the team is just stronger. I strongly believe so. It's just there's some magic to that when they come together, they work together, and usually also for you to work in construction, and I invite anyone that has thought about it. And then again, look, construction is just not about getting dirty and being out there. You can be behind the scenes and be involved so much in developing our communities, but like I said, every company I've seen, it's great. It's a good combination. There's 2 sides to it, and you're a strong woman at the end of the day if you're in construction. So I think it's a good match.
I agree, absolutely. I think we have a certain a level of care.
Yeah.
And don't be wrong, it complements well when you work together.
It does.
And then we have a level of care, taking care of everything. But us being in the field, I'm glad to see more of that. It's pretty amazing.
And on that point, you remind me of something else, if you don't mind me sharing, because sometimes they ask me this, well, how do you do it? Because perception still, and there's not so many. How do you break yourself through there? From my experience, I always like to share, go do what you got to do, and sometimes they respect you for that.
Absolutely.
They respect you because you just go and do it. It's funny, but I forget I'm a female when I'm out there, because it's not about that.
No, it's just getting the job done.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And it should be that way. If anybody can get the job done, that makes sure you're qualified, right?
Exactly.
So you have a huge social following. How did you do that? People are really impressed.
Yeah, so out on the field, that was my nickname, La Reina del Concreto, Concrete Queen, and I love sales, I love marketing, and with now I'm a millennial, almost didn't make it, but I am. So with that being said, I took advantage and put it all together, and I said, well, if this message is getting somewhere, people were calling and saying, hey, I heard you sell concrete, or you have a contact for this, you're the concrete queen, who gave you my number? No, I don't know. Okay, this is good, so we'll keep going, right?
Gotcha.
And we started from there. We pretty much owned it, like I said, just own it and keep going, and just started the social media channels. And like I was telling you earlier, all these contractors out there, I don't know how they manage to work and watch social media, but they do it. So yeah.
So what kind of content are you putting out there? What do you find is most helpful?
A lot of information, education, obviously, videos, making them aware of events around their community, for sure. They're busy, and sometimes they miss out on opportunities. Also connecting the industry, I think, is huge for us, not only the contractor, but maybe the general contractor. For example, we have a lot of general contractors that are taking advantage of this because they need to meet some sort of minority participation, and it can be hard to reach out, or they might have the wrong perception, right? The sub's like, oh no, it must be really tough to work directly with a GC, and our job is to make them see, it's a process, it takes a while, but sometimes there's other people that can help you with it.
Yeah, it's completely doable. I know it's intimidating, especially like you're coming from these smaller projects into all of a sudden,
exactly.
But there is so much work out there for minority contracts on the state side, and just not being afraid to go out and get it, right?
That's right.
So what other advice do you have for somebody like new in construction, like what are some key things that they should be looking for how to run a business?
On how to run the business. I for sure know that when it comes to USCon and everyone we work with, which is, like your firm and other experts in each area, they're willing to always share the knowledge. And so I think that as long as you are okay with going and asking, there's always someone out there in construction. That's why I love it. There is a lot of people that are willing to share the information. All you have to do is ask. Hell, go and work for free one day. I mean, that is more compensating than anything. If you're kind of doubtful, just volunteer yourself, because that's the chance that you might just need to make sure that is what you want to do. But very rewarding career.
I agree, and it's really something to be respected, because it's been around forever, right? And really, so what do you think can help bring, because like the average age of the construction worker is only getting older. What do you think that can help bring the younger generation in?
I think it has to do a lot with the perception that construction is dirty work. And maybe, for example, in our case that we cater to the Hispanic niche, they've seen their dad or mom struggle so much to be in this business that there's, oh no, I don't want to work that hard. But if we do the right deal and educate them and saying, well, they had to take the harder road because that was the situation then, but now you're in another generation. And now at that, the other opportunity, I don't see it as a problem, but an opportunity in construction. We're so behind on technology, right? And now the kids, they love all that and all that, that video gaming stuff. Go ahead and make it related to construction, and I'm sure you will come up with a good app, a good video or something. I mean, look at these machines out here. We're in this trade show. Now you can maneuver machines from a remote site, and all the machines are out there in the job site.
It's crazy. I had somebody on before talking about a 3D printer building houses.
Exactly.
On a job site. It's so crazy,
right?
Like it's not what you think it is.
And so I think if we expose them more to that kind of side of the construction, I know for faculty here at the council, we're going to be starting in March a certified project management class, and we're working with community colleges and trade schools to make sure that it's all on a scholarship. And so a project manager, I mean, they know the ins and outs of a project, and they might or not touch the project.
Exactly. But they're out there watching and helping put everything together.
Yes.
That's amazing. Well, it sounds like you're doing a lot of great things. Where can people find you?
So our email, or you can also go to our website, which is vozdelaconstruccion.com, or I can definitely phone number 832-877-6030. We also have our Facebook, Instagram. USCon is the U.S. Council of Hispanics in Construction.
Awesome. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Tyler.
No, thank you. Thank you for everything you guys are doing to help us and the community as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Hey guys, this is Karalynn Cromeens. Thank you for listening to an episode of the Quit Getting Screwed podcast from the world of concrete. Hey guys, if you need help, liens, collections, contracts, we do it all. We do it in all 50 states for a flat fee and a predictable time frame. If you want to know more, reach out to us on our website, thecromeanslawfirm.com, which is in the show notes. Thanks.